there is a reason why these games have been, I would say boring.
Defense wins championships. So
I'll say it again. They have a chance. Offense will win this championship.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Kamusta mga Insans? Welcome back to another episode of Insans Out of Basketball, a Filipino podcast for your NBA Vancouver hoops discussion with your Insans Intan.
And Jello, welcome back, mga insan. Let's go to our last segment here, Tad. We have the current situation of NBA playoffs, the NBA finals, right? We're basically on our best of 5 here. There's basically a maximum of 5 games left. But OKC and Indiana, it's 1-1. Next game is coming tomorrow, which is, again, we're recording this on a Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, June 11.
Yes.
June 11. And, it's been exciting. I kind of, to be honest with you, game one, I fell asleep because I was like, this game is done. This game was done, right? And then I woke up and then Pacers won. I'm sorry, but there is a reason why these games have been, I would say boring. Then what's happening with the viewership, all that kind of stuff. What's happening?
Yes, but before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, please continue to support us. Stay through the whole video, and we're gonna give you some exciting stuff. But these are two small markets playing the Indiana Pacers and the OKC Thunder, and it's shown, with the viewership, it's just averaging 8.91 million for the first game, the lowest in 15 years. And then the next one is the game two. It's the lowest game two viewership in 18 years. And that's what happens when two very low market cities play each other. And also, there are no big names. I know SJ just won the MVP, but he's still a very fresh name, a very new name for a lot of casual NBA watchers. So there's not much to see for a lot of casual people right here in the NBA Finals.
But again, these games, I would say people were expecting that these two small markets wouldn't be giving us a very entertaining game. But
And not only that, people are expecting Thunder to dominate. They
that
expect
was the
them.
other thing, right?
Yeah.
But this has been exciting. I would say the first game, especially with Tyrese Halliburton, is always cinema.
No fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls off, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining.
With him playing, but Tyrese Halliburton, game two wasn't the best, but I'm in love with how SGA has been consistent, right?
Mm.
He's been playing well, and that's why even though my vote was Pacers Stan ever since, you can't like you I feel like you gotta give it to SGA this championship just because of his consistency. And again, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists on game one, 34 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists on game two. This guy is everywhere, right? And might I say on the second game, he had a lot of defensive stops. He had a lot of deflection. I think he had a couple of steals.
Dribble. Gets it into Neesmith. Neesmith blocked by Gilgis Alexander.
And he's the one that says, yeah, that's difficult.
Gilgis Alexander inside. Banks it home.
That are impactful. There's a difference with just, your regular things, but impactful in a way that, hey, we're ahead. If I get this steal, we're going to be up ahead by 20 and they're going to lose their confidence. They don't want to play anymore. And that's how you see your MVP, right? But on the other hand, let me go back to my Pacers here with Tyrese Halliburton, game winning on the first game. The only thing I can really say to him is like it is a little bit low in the turnover ratio, but he needs to show up more, right? And he needs to. That's one of the things when we were talking about like earlier. What does Thunder need to do? I think Pacers just need to. They did it well in the game two. They need to lower down on those turnovers, but at the same time, they need to figure out how they need to get away on this defensive scheme, this defensive, minded Thunder team, right, Tan?
Yeah.
So what do you think Thunder needs to do though in order for them to really succeed and get this game in the bag?
Like I said in our past episode, I think Pacers just met their match. This team, the Pacers, is known for their pace, their fast break type of offense. That even if you score, They treat it as a fast break, and they just met the fastest defense as well in the entire league, the best defense in the entire league. And it shows, Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people are wondering where he is, but he showed up in game one in the buzzer beating shot, but he is uncomfortable. There are a lot of fast guards in the OKC Thunder. They have bodies they can throw to Halliburton, and he is uncomfortable. He needs to be more aggressive. But yeah, like you said, if I have to say something about the Thunder and how they can win it all, I think they gotta duplicate what they did in the second game, and that is to match the firepower of offense with the Pacers. We didn't see that in game one. It was mostly SGA, but in game two, you have Caruso showing for 20 points, Wiggins showing for 18 points. Those are huge, huge points that are contributed with SGA. So they need to match the firepower because we all know their defensive intensity is insane and it's suffocating for the Pacers. But in order to beat the Pacers, they have to match the intensity as well in the offense. And you have their leader in SGA, but you need those secondary guys with him.
Yeah, and to add, we talked about this in the other pod, so please watch that if you haven't. But just Thunder doesn't have a second person. They don't have like a second starter they can rely on. And again, Intan just mentioned here, Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins. These are bench players, right? We know that they can do well in terms of the defensive side because again, this is a defensive team. But you can't really rely on Alex Caruso giving you 20 points off the bench every night, right? It's just never been. I believe this is also the second time he's had 20 points this postseason, and
Yeah.
second time he had the whole season. And again, he had to show up. Your OG, your old guy needs to show up. This is just it shows to the Thunder team, to all the other that SGA will give you 30 points or more. This other players need to show up more, man. Give you at least double digits. Give you at least 20 points, right? And that's what they need to do. But in terms of the Pacers, they just need to stay true to what they do, right? This is a 48-minute game. They just need to be consistent. They just need to show that they will fight until the end. But at the same time, they really need to limit those turnovers, right? I can't really say that Pacers need to show up the bench players, the starters, all that kind of stuff because I know they will show up in terms of the offensive side. I know they've struggled a bit, but they also need to really just match the intensity from start to finish because I think the second game it feels like they didn't come in with a sense of urgency, right? That they need to be aggressive in terms of the offensive side. So they really need to show that into next, especially if they're going to their 2 home games, right? This is gonna be exciting for them. But if they lose this third game here, I think it's over for Pacers if they lose their third game. Because don't you agree, Tan, that it's on the OKC side now in terms of confidence wise that OKC has that confidence, or do you think Pacers has that confidence?
That's what I was gonna say. I picked the Thunder to win it all, and I was devastated in the first game. But you gotta remember, they lost by 1 point. That
Mm-hmm.
is, they didn't lose by 10 or very convincingly. They just lose by 1 point. If Halliburton missed that shot, they lose or
Okay.
the Thunder wins. And so I believe the Thunder still has the advantage in the game in the
Game
sense
4.
of that they are playing
Yeah.
better than the Pacers. But I do feel that, like you said, I do think the Thunder needs the game three. Actually, they need to win that game because if they give the Pacers the confidence in a win in game three, I think it's gonna continue because the next game is still in the Indiana. So they are possibly going into a 3-1 situation going back to OKC. So they actually, to me, they have to win game three if they want to win it all. But like you said,
I'm just gonna say I'm a little disappointed with the Pacers because I feel like they won that first game and they were like, we won 1 game at least. Let's go back home. We'll seal the deal. And that mentality is just not gonna work out. And I'm really disappointed with how the Pacers played. Again, they don't have that same intensity per se. Again, they were also losing per se on that first game. They were ahead for 3 seconds on that game one, and that's
Mhm.
when that's I think it's not even 3 seconds, like 0.7 seconds that they
Yeah.
were ahead on that first game. And I'm just they didn't have that intensity. It's like they gave up like third quarter or something. So they need to have that intensity from start to finish because they that's the team that they are. They just need to set true to themselves, and this game three will be important for them, right?
Yeah.
Or
And
else
like
it's over.
yeah, and I want to add, you were saying that you can always count on the Pacers bench to show up, but the Pacers starting five needs to show up as well. The Pacers starting lineup, nobody has scored 20 or more points in the first two games. And that is the first time in the history that a team starters stayed under 20 points in back-to-back finals game. So they have to show up. I know the OKC Thunder has an elite defense, but if they want to win, they also has to show up, not just rely on the bench. So yeah.
And again, this might not be the two biggest names. This might not be the two biggest teams per se, but I might I say this is has been fun watching these two teams, right?
Yeah.
Watching SGA show up and show the world that he's the MVP. Tyrese Halliburton showing up in terms of he's not underrated anymore, right? But this is two games that needs to watch for, especially this game three. This is kind of like a do or die. I feel like this will be a game that will show who will win the championship, right? We've had a lot of adjustments. There's already a few adjustments that both teams have been doing, but this finals is gonna be exciting. So keep watch, right?
Yeah. And you know, as they always say, defense wins championships. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. I think Pacers. I say it. I'll say it again. They have a chance. Offense will win this championship. All right.
I do agree with you, Kuis, that Pacers has a chance, and that is for next year because the East is gonna be weaker and they have a better chance. But this year,
I don't know, man. Giannis is going to
the
Toronto.
fastest defense. Oh,
Giannis is
I
going to
don't
Toronto.
know.
You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
All right. That is it. That is all. Mga insan. Thank you all. Don't forget, Dan. Don't forget to what?
Yes, sir. If you're here until the end, comment Yanis to Toronto.
Yes, sir.
And because it's happening, and this is the first podcast you hear that from, so let's go.
All
But
right.
as we always say, mga insights, Quiz, do you wanna add anything else?
No, no. Again, just don't forget to like, subscribe,
Yes, sir.
comment, share this to your friends, to your tita, to your mama, to your
Yes,
tito,
sir.
to
Yes,
whoever you
sir.
might be. Share it to them.
Because we all know Filipino families.
Yeah.
They're big families. So
How many titas,
show it
titos you have? Just share it to them. Tell them to
show it to
subscribe.
your lolo, even if he doesn't understand it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Make your lolo
If you-
an YouTube account and tell him like, oh, I just need to subscribe to this people. Okay.
Yes, sir,
All
lolo.
right.
All right,
Thank
mga
you, mga
insans.
insan. What do we say here in our pod, Dad?
All right, mga insans, thank you for all your support. But insans out.